welcome back into Sunday Sit Down Time. With us now in person is Gabe DeArmond from PowerMizzou.com. He writes all things Mizzou athletics with Mitchell 40. Gabe, it's great to have you back in the studio. It's been a while.
It has. I've remembered how to get here, though, so we're good.
Yeah, we're still in the same place, so nothing's changed there. But some things have definitely changed with the Tiger coaching staff as defensive lineman Jethro Franklin is out as the defensive line coach. Is this the right decision for Coach Drinkwitz, you think, after a Tennessee game?
I mean, I don't know. We're not at practice. I have no idea if Jethro Franklin is great at his job or terrible at his job. I know the defensive line wasn't very good. I know Missouri fans wanted somebody to pay with their job. I think when you are, there's a pecking order, right? The position coaches are first, and if you fire a position coach, you don't have to fire the coordinator. So the coordinator's kind of next. And then if you have to fire the coordinator, then the spotlight goes on the head coach. And I'm not saying Eli Drinkwitz is going to lose his job now, but, this is a guy he hired, 9 months ago? So clearly, all right, my bad, I made a mistake here. Now, Eli Drinkwitz gets to keep his job, but, it's I don't want to say scapegoat because it's not like his position was playing well, but somebody had to pay.
Would you say the defensive line was the biggest issue on the defense?
I mean, was there something that was not an issue on the defense?
I mean, laughing about asking that question.
Right, it seems kind of rude to say that. It was tied with the linebackers in the secondary is the biggest issue on the defense, I feel like. I mean, even, I thought yesterday against Tennessee, the offense wasn't very good, but it felt disingenuous to even talk about the offense not being good on that day because it was just not good. It was not what the defense was.
So what about Steve Wilks? What can he do to turn this thing around? Is it a scheme thing? Is it a talent thing? Is it what?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be, right? Because, look, Missouri they don't have elite SEC talent on defense, but they don't have worst defense in America talent. I mean, they have more talent than Kansas and then UMass and then a lot of these other teams that have been more successful than they have. So some of it's talent. Some of it obviously is whatever his design is. Some of it is probably they don't understand the design. Some of it may be motivation and effort. I don't know. There's literally nothing that you can look at and say, yeah, I feel good about that on defense. I mean, it needs to be torn up to be rebuilt.
Well, moving on to the offense, Connor Bazelak throws those 2 interceptions yesterday. He said there's a lot of pass protection issues, which it looked like there was.
Yeah.
But would you expect more from him through these games so far this season?
He's been, I think, solid, above average, I think. And he has not been – he's not the best quarterback in the SEC, but I didn't think he was going to be the best quarterback in the SEC coming in. When I look at the first 5 games, if I'm listing, reasons they're 2 and 3 – it takes me a while to get to Connor Bazelak. I mean, I think the quarterback gets too much credit and too much blame, right? And there are a lot of things that need to be fixed before I'd worry. I get questions every week, well, when are we going to see the backups? I mean, why? Do we think Missouri's a better team with him on the bench? Because I don't.
Well, maybe not in the quarterback position, but it seems like Drinkwitz is reluctant to get some of those younger guys in at some other positions, especially on defense, when they're clearly struggling with the guys they got. Why do you think he's reluctant to put in some of those freshmen?
Well, and I would say when answering this question, we don't see practice, right? We're not in meetings. We have a fraction of the information. So he gets paid $4 million a year, and I assume he would like to continue to get paid that. So I assume he's playing the guys he thinks are the best players. But in a game like yesterday, it wasn't even the defense because, hey, I've seen the backup defense, and it's not any better, but why is Tyler Beatty in that game in the fourth quarter? Why is Bazelak in the game in the fourth quarter? Why is the starting offensive line in that game in the fourth quarter? I would have liked to see some of the other guys, because if you're not going to do it when it's 55-24 with 4 minutes left, I'm not sure when you're going to do it.
So the Tigers are 2 and 3 at this point. Bowl game is 6 wins. At this point, it's hard to imagine they're going to play like that the rest of the way, but you never know. But is 6 wins just seem like really far away now?
It's tough. I mean, if they play that way, 4 wins is tough, right? But let's assume that that's the worst we'll see. They ought to beat Vandy. They ought to beat North Texas. South Carolina, they still should beat. So that puts you at 5, and that means you're going to have to beat – you're not beating Georgia. You're probably not beating Florida. So it comes down to A&M or Arkansas for that 6th win, and I understand Arkansas's hot, But that's not an impossible game to win, right? Last game of the year, all that. And A&M, okay, A&M's not great either. So 6 is possible, but they will not be favored to win. They'll be favored to win 2 or 3 more games.
Well, you guys should definitely get your subscriptions to Power Mizzou. Gabe DeArmond had a great commentary on there last night. It's always fun to get your perspective on things. So great to see you back in person in the studio. And hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, man.
All right. We'll be right back after this.